Whether you keep them in your home or love to see them in theirs, these are the creatures that bring us all together.
Reptiles. We're going to be delving into the experiences of reptile lovers from around the block and around the world. This is the Reptile Talk Podcast.
Boom. What is going on, everybody? This is Jeremy Turgeon from Brassman Reptiles.
And I'm Robin. I'm keeping it real.
And for some reason, my browser screen is totally blacked out. So, hey, there we go. I don't know what just happened there, but now we're here. Hi, Rob. Oh, man.
What's up? How's it going?
It's going good. It's going good. How about you, man?
Partying. I got baby Borneos hatching out, which has been pretty tight. And then I got corn snake eggs on the ground, and I got more Borneo eggs that are going to hatch out in about a month. So lots of stuff going on.
Heck yeah, dude. That's super exciting.
How about you? How you been?
I've been good, man. Just busy. I'm getting really antsy now. We're getting close to hatching first few clutches for the year. So I'm like haunting my incubator right now. So we've got like Mexican black kings and some ball pythons and stuff that are due to hatch in the next like week or two. So now I'm like every day poking over at the incubator, like, is there a head sticking out? So but yeah, so I'm super stoked for tonight. This is going to be an epic episode that is, of course, brought to you by our friends over at Black Box Cages. Make sure you go check them out, blackboxcages.com. They're actually also hiring if you're in the Buford, Georgia area, so you can go check that out. Thought that was cool. Saw a post for that earlier this week. So thank you to Black Box as always. If you need a new cage or a new rack, make sure you go check them out. I don't want to push this off any further. So let's get the man in here. The man, the myth, the legend, Ty Park. What's going on, man?
Right. Hey guys, how you guys doing?
Great, man. How are you?
We're having a good time.
Yeah, kind of flooded down here, but you probably saw it in the news, huh? Miami is totally flooded.
I did see that. Yeah.
Yeah, we are not that bad. We probably got maybe 7-8 inches of rain in the last couple of days. We basically have no visitors at the park. It's raining. Yeah, because as you guys know, we're all outside, which is okay. If this summer or this, I guess, late spring, early summer has been hell for attendance because it's been crazy hot too. It's been incredibly hot down here. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's not just me. All outdoor activities kind of suffer a bit. But we're doing okay. Every animals are doing great. My employees are just working hard, and I'm very happy as can be. So there you go.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. Yeah, I saw a post from David over at Tiki's Geckos about a lot of their outdoor enclosures had flooded and stuff. They were trying to bring some stuff in. So yeah, I don't envy you guys and the torrential rains of Florida.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But you know what? I built this place. I've been here for since 2007, right? So when I decided to go public, and I built them knowing that we're gonna get some flood. So I believe I have 7 retention ponds here. They're all interconnected. So literally, even when we have 7-8 inches of rain in 2 days, within a day or so, it dries up. Every water goes where they're supposed to be going. And there might be a little puddle here or there, but no, we're good. Tomorrow, people come in here, won't see anything different.
That's good. At least you were prepared.
Exactly. You know, like I said, I went through 2 hurricanes now. Um, you know,
Yeah,
we have
man.
procedures for that. You know, last hurricane was hell. You know, we had like 160-mile-an-hour wind come through here,
Sheesh.
and we lost one animal, and there was an elderly animal, iguana. So yeah, I think
Damn.
yeah, you know, obviously, when you're in Florida, you're a little different. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
so you just gotta be prepared. That's all.
Yeah. How fast are you able to get those shade curtains back up over your walkways?
Yeah, you know what? It's almost constant. Some days,
Yeah.
you know, without any warning, I think it was maybe a year ago, we had like 80-mile-an-hour wind just hit us in the afternoon. I mean, no warning
Oh,
whatsoever,
wow.
just hit us. Bam! So we lost a bunch of shade cloths and stuff like that. You know,
Dang.
hurricane, you prepare for that. You know, but 80-mile wind literally out of nowhere, crazy. And a couple of weeks ago, we had hail. And
Sheesh.
it was 85 degrees.
That's
Oh,
crazy.
man.
And yeah, we had hail this big.
Dang.
No, thank you.
So yeah, I mean, but hey, uh, you know, we're always prepared, and we'll always be here.
Yeah.
That's right, man. That is freaking right.
Yeah.
Man, so there are so many different things that I wanted to talk with you about on this episode, and I know it'll be impossible to cover it, but so many people in today's world of reptiles know you largely for Iguana Land, but
Mhm.
you've got a long-standing history in herpetoculture. And for those
Are
who
you telling
might
me I'm
not
old,
know,
right? Basically, you're telling me I'm old.
hey, all right,
Okay,
Ty's
Jeremy.
really old, and oh, I
Go
was trying to
ahead.
be nice, damn it.
Ancient.
Oh man. No, but can you give the folks that might not know about you past Iguana Land a glimpse of what you've done in reptiles?
Oh my God. Well, basically, my dad gave me a reef turtle when I was 6 years old in South Korea. My dad's a professor. Um, And I fell in love with it. I would come back home from school and I would be in front of that turtle and just watch it like this. And I was just fascinated.
Mhm.
I always loved nature. I lived in Busan, Korea. So I was minutes away from the ocean, minutes away from the mountains. So
Wow.
that's where I was. I was just catching snakes, salamanders, and I go into tide pools and grab things like starfish and crabs or whatever. It was like a paradise for me, and I
That's
loved it.
awesome.
And so, as a 13-year-old, my dad decided that we're gonna immigrate to USA. So okay, uh, landed in Alaska first. That was
Oh.
Oh gosh.
my first step to USA. They didn't have direct flight back then. So and then landed in Chicago. My dad was already here, so he came and picked us up. And I lived in Champaign, Urbana. He was a professor at University of Illinois, Champaign, Urbana,
Mm.
organic chemistry, which I don't not know nothing about.
I didn't make it that far in college. I got to Chem 2 and I
Yeah,
failed.
yeah.
So.
But I used to go down in this basement where he was doing research and stuff like that, and he had some. He was working on with tilapias back then,
Mhm.
and back then, you know, tilapia nobody knew about, right? I mean, literally, he might have been the first few people in the U.S. actually imported him for research. I
Really?
don't know, but you're talking about the 70s, right?
Wow.
Early 70s. So, um, yeah, and then after college, I opened up my first pet store. You know, like a crazy guy, I got accepted to grad school, but I really didn't want to go to grad school. I wanted to do something on my own, and unfortunately, my dad passed before that. And if my dad was alive, I'd probably be a doctor. You know, because I was a pre-med and that's what he wanted me to do. Unfortunately, it passed when I was a freshman in college.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and to me, medicine wasn't really something that I wanted to do. It was because my dad wanted me to, and all my uncles are doctors. So
Mhm.
basically like a family thing. My son is a doctor too,
I was
believe
gonna
it or
say
not. My
your
son-in-law is
kid.
too, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, and sophomore year, I really made up my mind that I wanted to do something. Oops, did I lose you?
There we go.
With um, animals. I wanted to. My goal was to become a zoo director.
Mm.
Also college. So I changed my major to zoology. My mom cried for a couple of days. Um, but I was pretty adamant because your dad tell you to do something as a Korean boy, I just did it.
hmm
But my mom, I mean,
She wants you to be
she's
happy.
a softie. I could get away with anything with my mom. So I changed my major to zoology, and I wanted to be a zoo director. But I've always wanted to open up a pet store. Back then in the 70s, again, the pet stores were basically like metal frame, like rusting metal stands
Yep.
with like crusted aquarium. It was a mess, right? I mean,
They have the
it
slate
was
bottom
not a
aquariums, right?
pleasant,
Yeah.
place to be, and it's smelly. So I wanted a pet store that has displayed animals the right way. So I
Mhm.
put all the aquarium behind the wood paneling,
Mm.
and this is 70s, and I made everything very representable. And I grew that to 3 different pet stores. And then I got into selling pizzas. Santa Cabana. I lived in the dorm, so I know you're hungry by the time you're at 9 o'clock. You're hungry.
Yep.
Nobody liked home food. Um, so this was before Domino's. So I kind of made a killing selling pizzas. Got
Hell
into
yeah.
real estate development. Got into and then I bought one of the largest campus bar, and I was having a
Wow.
great time. I mean, I was, and and this building was during prohibition days. It had a hidden basement where they served liquor.
Oh
Oh,
man.
So I had
dang.
this hidden basement that I kept my reptiles in. So I could tell you this, but back then, obviously, health department didn't know about it.
Right.
Yeah, right. But few of my
That's
friends
cool.
did. One is Mark Mitchell, right? He was head. He's now like head of LSU vet school or something like that. He used to hang out with me all the time, and he actually went to vet school at University of Illinois, right? So yeah, I had a lot of fun. But
That's
I was
awesome.
not a family man. I was literally working 16 hours a day. I
Mhm.
was a workaholic. Literally, I was addicted to work. And so I decided, and I even got pretty close to divorce.
Mhm.
Because I was, it's my fault. I was not a family man, and my kids were growing up, and I was, as a Korean man, again, I had this misconception now, but that wife stayed home and I work hard and provide for the home, and
Mhm.
that's how I was brought up.
Yeah.
Um, and raising the kids were wife's job, and I just go to work 16 hours a day. But I started realizing that's not. I'm really missing out.
Yeah.
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 So I retired, and my in 2006, my daughter got accepted to Northwestern University. By then, we were living in suburb of Chicago, a place called Inverness.
Mhm.
Um, and I kind of wanted to keep her close to where we were. So she decided to go to Northwestern University, which was only about an hour drive. And then that's the same year I sent my son to a private school in Minnesota. Hated me for it for a couple of weeks
Yeah.
because that summer before he he started dating his wife.
Oh
He was
really?
almost 16, right?
Ah.
First, yeah, literally first girlfriend he ever
First
had,
love.
and he
Yeah.
actually married her after 10 years of dating.
Wow.
But basically, after that summer, I sent him away to Minnesota, tundra, cold.
You're like, you need to cool
Places,
down a
you know,
little bit.
I mean,
You're gonna go.
in the USA. So yeah, he hated me for a couple of weeks, but then he came around and he realized that why I sent him there, because he wanted to always go to Princeton University. That was his dream school.
Mm-hmm.
It's a dang good school, you know, and you could have perfect scores on SAT and SAT and straight A, and you still won't get in, you know, because
Right.
every school, high school, has one or two of those anyway.
Yeah.
You know, as competition to like Yale, Harvard, Princeton, Stanford, ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I knew that you have to have something else, right, other than the grades and the brain.
Mhm.
And he was a decent soccer player. So the school that I sent him to, I found out that the coach there was a buddy was coach at Princeton. So I
Mm.
figured that
Ah.
if this coach recommend him, he already had the grade, he was going right away.
Yeah.
And it worked out that way.
Wow.
Matter of fact, Princeton was the only school he ever applied to, because they accepted him right away after.
Oh wow.
Almost, yeah, he was one of the first ones to get accepted that year because his coach wanted him.
Dang.
So
Wow.
yeah, so it all worked out. It's great. And of course, my son, even now, he's very grateful. He realized what I've done for him and stuff. So now he's doing some amazing work at University of Southern California. He's doing surgery. Yeah, I'm very, very proud of him. He could do anything with his skills. He did think about going into plastic surgery, but ultimately he told me one day, he said, "Dad, God gave me these amazing hands." And he does have amazing hands. I mean, he's an incredible artist. You gotta see him paint, and and he said, "I want to do something good with these hands." And he said and I want to go into trauma surgery, because
Wow.
Oh wow.
yeah, that's something that you're right. I mean, literally, like it's like TV shows or movies,
Yeah.
helicopter will land, and you're talking about Los Angeles, right? I mean, so
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
hub.
yeah, he's getting plenty of experiences. So I'm very proud of him to be a doctor. So I have a couple of doctors in my family. I'm the only bum, actually. Black sheep maybe. But I mean, look at me. How happy am I, right?
Yeah, you get to do what you like to
I've been
do.
happy as a doctor. Probably not. I still don't
Yeah.
like blood. So yeah, I'm in a great place. My kids are in a great place, and I figured that it's time for me to give back to society. And
Mhm.
Iguana Land is one of the things I'm doing to do that. I this is my passion, and I want to share my passion with everybody else. And
Yeah.
I keep telling people that Iguana Land, I didn't build it for myself, because I'm only gonna be here for 20, 30 years more, right? I'm 70 now. So, and this thing, Iguana Land, will keep growing. It'll be here for another 100 years plus after I'm gone. And it's gonna keep doing education. I love it when the school bus and land, drives in here. When Anna goes to different schools to show animals. And then she does a lot. We do a lot of educational program in town. And that's one of the big things that I wanted to do. And then the other is I wanted to support research. There isn't too many places with 100 rock iguanas. You gotta do
Yeah.
research on
Yeah.
rock iguanas, you have to go to the island. Well, you don't
Yeah.
have to anymore. You can come to my place and do research on rock iguanas. If you go to these islands, they're CITES 1 animals. If you want to take blood out, you need CITES 1 permit.
Yep.
You might have to wait a year to get that blood out of that country.
Mhm.
And so I have a lot of, actually, I had Sean did his PhD. Sean Perry at DVM. He did his PhD study here on rock iguanas.
That's
And,
wild.
That's awesome.
yeah, and then I have people come from Australia and stay for 3 months doing research. Things like that. I have I have an intern house over here with 4 bedroom. Um, so I wanted to support research because I think I can do that with the amount of animals I have and stuff. And that's happening. I'm starting to reach out to some of the professors at different local universities are reaching out to me about research projects.
Mhm.
So I want to support that. And then of course the last thing is the conservation work, which I think we're doing a pretty good job. This year we raised more than $100,000 for conservation work. Turtle Fest and
awesome.
Iguana Fest.
That is really cool.
So we're doing pretty good for being here for about 2.5 years.
Yeah, man.
Open to
Dude,
the
that's
public.
incredible. I think that one
Yeah.
of the things that you were saying is that a lot of people don't get to experience, but like where I've been and then where you've been is when you get to see children who are excited about reptiles come to a
Yeah.
place like Iguana Land and getting to share those animals with these kids who are like, oh, I watch YouTube videos about, whatever, rhino iguanas or the Aldabra tortoises. They're like, I watch YouTube videos. I love them so much. And then watching them get to see one in person for the first time is like,
Absolutely.
it'll change your life. You'll be
Yeah.
like, I need to chase that feeling for the rest of my life of getting
Yeah.
to share that like love with people who are also really in love with the stuff that you're doing. It's
You know what? I put smiles on my face every time I see kids. One of the things that I did with Iguana Land, I wanted to do it totally different. I didn't want it to be a cookie cutter zoo, right?
Mhm.
So when I first wanted to open it up, people was every person I ever met is, oh, you gotta visit these zoos, you gotta learn from them and stuff. And I said, no, it's gonna come from this brain right here. I'm not gonna copy anybody, all right?
Yep.
And I'm just doing it totally differently, my way. I fail, it's me, right? And
Yeah.
I hope I succeed and make a little difference. But one of the things that I did was I realized that every zoo in the USA that has reptile department, 80% of what they got is something that's going to kill you.
Yep.
Right? Vipers,
Yeah.
cobras, rattlesnakes, giant crocodiles, and apparently that does attract people. But I decided, you know what? I'm going to be totally different than that. I'm not going to have anything that's going to kill you. I want people to come in thinking that reptiles are dangerous and it's going to kill you, and go out saying, hey, maybe they won't kill you. Right?
Yeah.
That's why I will
Yeah.
never have venomous here. I won't have venomous. I'm also one of the few smart things I did for this place was I made it into a agritourism business. It's not commercial business. So I don't need liability insurance because I'm protected by the state as an agritourism business. Okay. So having said that, although I do have liability insurance just in case because my wife is very anal. But nobody could sue me if they fall down, get hurt themselves, or get bit, because we have a big sign saying that at the entrance. And we are protected by the state. But obviously, I train my employees to make sure that nobody get hurt, obviously. But what it does to me is insurance company can't tell me what I cannot do.
True.
Right? Insurance company has all these rules. You can't take out your venomous snake in front of your guests. We can take out our animals and show it to people because insurance company can't tell us what to do. So we could do a lot of hands-on education, all right, that other zoos cannot do because of insurance reasons.
Yeah, that and
So-
ADA does that too.
Yeah. So that's one of the. So I made Iguana Land different than any other zoos, and I'm hoping that it will continue to do a lot of hands-on education, and we do. Almost every visitor who comes in here get to touch something before they leave. Right?
Heck yeah.
Even
awesome.
people who have never touched snake before, eventually they actually touch them, and yeah, we kind of insist in a way.
Yeah.
So I think we are making a difference. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Heck
that
yeah.
when you get somebody who's afraid of snakes and then they
Yeah.
touch it for the first time, you see the
Yeah.
gears start turning and they go, "Oh, I've been afraid of this thing my whole life. I thought that it was going to be slimy. I thought that it was
Right.
going to jump at me or try to bite me." And then,
Right.
you know, they start going, "Okay, then like what was I afraid of this whole time?" And then when you get a
Right.
chance to talk to them and
Right.
explain things a little bit, you know, when people don't know about something, it can be
Mhm.
really scary because it can, if they don't know anything about it, it can be anything. So
Right.
if you
Yep.
don't know what a snake does, it can be venomous. It's going to jump at your face. It's going to hurt you. It's going to squeeze you to death. And then when you learn about them and you understand that, oh, they're just another creature trying to exist on this spinning rock that is going around the sun, you know, that it changes their perspective and allows them to see it as more of what it is than what they
Mhm.
think it is, you know?
Yeah, and if they don't like snake, we have turtles and lizards too. So
Everyone loves turtles.
yeah,
Everyone
who
loves
doesn't
Everyone
love
loves
turtles.
turtles, right?
turtles. Yeah,
Everybody loves
exactly.
turtles. Yeah.
Exactly.
So I mean, we're largest reptiles in the world now. It's about 250 different species.
That's awesome.
I
It's
know the
insane.
Guinness Book of World Record was 225 was the reptile garden.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So yeah, and I didn't think we're reached that milestone this quickly. But I'm
Come
on
on, you're a reptile
vacation,
person.
man.
You know, I'm going to grab one of these and one of
Yep, and one of
those.
those,
Yeah,
and yeah.
and I still have empty cages.
That's a
We
problem,
saw,
dude.
we
That's a
saw that.
problem.
I know. I'm trying to fix it, but my budget's a little low right now because we're still not making money.
Yeah.
Still supporting it. Um, and I'm hoping. I keep telling myself this, and I'm hoping it will work out. By the end of 2024, I'm hoping at least we're break even,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
so I could do more conservation work. As you know, right now, yeah, it's all coming out of my pocket, guys. I mean, pocket. So, um, it's some days I lose thousands of dollars. Our expenses are very high.
Yeah.
When we only have few people come in, like last 3-4 days, I lose $1,000 plus every day.
Mm-hmm.
So, a lot of people think that I'm in this to make money. They have no idea
Yeah,
what
they don't know.
running a zoo like this costs.
There's
You
no
know,
I was going
money
to
in
say,
animals,
just
dude.
just the turtle exhibits. You were telling us when we were going through when you come in on the left-hand side, each
yeah,
one of those turtle pens was several $1,000s. Like I don't think people understand how much work and money went into just the exhibits
yeah,
for this place to be open, not even counting the man hours of care and all that stuff, education.
exactly. Yeah. I mean, when I first went to my wife and discussed this idea with her, budget was 3 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
I tripled that almost.
Wow.
And you got to remember
Sheesh.
that I did this through, well, hurricane was nothing. COVID. Think about the COVID.
Yeah.
Do you
That
remember the
was,
prices go like skyrocketing overnight? Like
yep.
lumber, cement, all
Mm-hmm.
tripled overnight.
Yep.
Aluminum, all the building supplies
Right.
literally tripled overnight. I already
Yeah.
had most of the animals here, so I had to keep building because I had expenses while I'm building it. I had all
Mm-hmm.
my employees while I was building it. I had zookeepers. Um, so I was supporting all that, plus I was building.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't know what kind of hell I went through to get this thing done.
Yeah.
I almost quit probably many, many times. I mean, I had city come in here tell me that I can't build anymore. They put a red stickers on my cages and said, you cannot build anymore because you don't have architectural permit and engineering permit for these cages. They wanted me to
What?
get architectural permit and engineering permit drawing for every one of my cages.
I think I remember you making a post about that
Yeah,
during the bill, and I was like, "What the heck, man?"
I know. And we had to fight that. We finally won that. It's been, and then the problem that I have with FWC. You know, I sued their lawyer and we won in court. Now I had a tiger on my back. She was after me. She came after my iguanas.
Yep.
I had the largest collection of green iguanas in the world, mostly morphs. I'm talking about albinos and stuff. And I was making, selling babies and taking the profit and contributing to conservation work. That was my goal. And when they passed this rule, they gave us 6 months to get rid of all our animals, right? I literally had 600 iguanas here, including the babies.
Jesus.
Right? They gave me 6 months to get rid of them.
Yeah.
And just look at the logistic of getting rid of them out of the state. You can't give them to anybody in state.
Yeah.
So it had to be out of state. I got rid of everything except for, I think, like 60 animals. And I refused to kill them. If I killed them, like FWC wanted me to do, I would have been fine. So I had these animals left over. And then they came in, and the inspector came in and told me, you fix certain things here, and I come back in a month and I re-inspect you and possibly will give you permit. Within 30 days, they raided me and took my animals.
Jesus.
Took my animals and killed them.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And
that was heartbreaking.
on top of that, they put them on news everywhere, right? Overnight. And they wanted me, the news stations wanted me to interview me. But I couldn't, because I couldn't really defend myself, because that weekend, I think the raid happened Monday or Tuesday. That weekend, I already sold like 30 some animals to Risa in Texas, right? She was coming up that weekend after the raid to pick up these animals. So we begged them not to kill those animals, right?
Yeah.
Because they were going to kill those too. And I told them they already have a home. The owner's going to come pick them up next month. And so they get back and said, okay, finally, they said, okay, that's fine. But these animals belong to FWC. You have no hands in it. I said, that's fine. We'll keep them here until she pick them up. That Saturday, when they pick them up, agent was here. Make sure they went with Risa and stuff. Anyway, because of that region, I could not defend myself, because I'm thinking, if I tell them the truth on news station, they're going to take these animals and kill them too.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So I decided to keep my mouth shut, and I was basically like the bad guy. Was trying to, and I didn't want to kill him, it just, but so yeah, I mean, I still get negative publicity from that sometimes, but you know what? At the end, we did the right thing. All my employees know that we did the right thing. You have something like this, you're gonna have to stand up and protect these animals until the end.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's the law, breaking the law. You have to do the right thing.
Yeah. And the states are on they just change things on a whim, and then they expect everyone to be able to just change right away, when that's not how everything's been set up. And especially when you got people who are trying to do things the right way, and they've got, these elaborate setups and all this stuff, and then they're going to come in and say, nope, actually, because we decided that this is too much of an impact, that what you're doing and have been doing for years and years and years, you can no longer do, even though you've not had issues.
It was personal to that lawyer.
Yeah.
Because I sued her and won. And the thing is, 6 months later, Tom still had his iguanas. 6 months later, Florida Iguana and Tortoise Sam had his iguanas. They came after me.
Yeah.
Only me. Right? So,
that's ridiculous.
but they just want to make an example of one of the big guy. I don't know, but it was
Yeah.
personal to them. It
Yeah.
was pretty obvious. But
That's
anyway, I went through hell building this place. But it's done. I'm really happy about it. There's still a lot of challenges. I can't keep putting hundreds of $1,000s in here every month or weeks but I'm committed. That's what I can say. I built this place. I have to stand behind it.
Yeah. And as someone who's been there, if you have not been there, you should definitely check it out. It is one of the most beautiful reptile zoos you're ever going to see. The exhibits, even if you don't go to see the animals specifically, go to see the exhibits. If you're into any sort of architecture, looking at the actual setups that the animals are in, the enclosures, go for that.
Top
Because
notch.
Yeah, top notch. It's just even some of the turtles were hidden when we were there, and still the exhibits themselves were absolutely beautiful. All of them, every single one of them, from the parentes down to some of the rarer cyclura that you have there, to the spilotes and the carpet pythons. Everything was in such cool enclosures.
Can I talk about the rare cyclura?
Absolutely.
Yes, you absolutely can.
Yes,
please.
No,
Really-
Ty, there's no talk about iguanas on this episode at all.
So, some people know cyclura penguins.
Mm.
Okay,
Mm.
and I got an iguana. There's maybe 400 or 500 left in the whole world.
Wow.
And I got an island, which is the British Virgin Island. They used to occur up and down that Puerto Rican bank, but they're extinct out of there now, right? I think someone told me maybe 5,000 years ago they were still there because of the goats and mongoose and rats and everything else. They're no longer there. So there are 10 of these animals in the USA. 4 of them are females. One has been surgically she's non-viable because surgically removed the reproductive system. The other one we have here, half of her reproductive system is gone. I'm hoping the other half is viable, but she's really not. So we're working with 2 possibly viable female in the USA.
Wow.
And we have them here because Director Mike Foraker at Fort Worth Zoo is amazing. He doesn't play politics. Just think about AZA saying, "What the heck are you giving these rare animals to a private person?" Right? Well, he did, and he got a lot of slack for it. But he said, "I'm gonna give these animals to the person who could produce them the best."
Yep.
And he didn't care about AZA, and so he just put them down here.
That's awesome.
And
That's so cool.
amazing. I mean, things like that don't happen,
Yep.
But you're talking about the director at Fort Worth Zoo, right? One of the biggest zoo in the world.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we have 3 females here. So basically, possibly viable females are all here.
That is incredible.
Yeah, and I can't 100% say that we're gonna produce them this year, but all signs leads to us producing them this year. After 3 years of establishing them, working with them, I think we have 2 female grab it right now.
That is awesome.
I'm out there every 30 minutes watching them. After this, what do you think I'm doing?
Outside.
Yeah, out there. Anyway, so Sean Perry, DVM, and PhD, because he did a PhD study here. He come down here once a month. He's a vet at Mississippi Aquarium now.
Oh, that's cool.
Really is vet. He's when it comes to reptiles, I can't think of I could think of maybe few people in my hand who done the stuff that he had done with exotic. Anyway, he left yesterday. He was here for 3 days doing research. So he did sonograms on them, and he's pretty sure that these are fertile eggs inside of them. So I am like high right now, right? So I don't do drugs. I never drank alcohol. I'm high.
Yeah,
It's just barbecue and iguanas.
Including on
Let's
eggs,
go,
man.
Yeah. So the conservation work with these guys are basically we're gonna work with U.S. Fish and Wildlife and Fort Worth Zoo and us, of course, as many as we could produce. Hopefully, I could. I feel good about if I could get a couple of clutches out of these guys. If I get 10 babies, I could raise them the way I want to, right? And I could make 100 within 5 years. I could guarantee you. I could produce 100 of them within 5-6 years. Last time anybody produced, and I got an iguana, I believe it was 12 years ago, one at San Diego Zoo.
Wow.
Damn.
So my goal is to produce dozen this year. I think we're gonna do it. So with that, obviously people are gonna ask about the genetics, the inbreeding and stuff, and you know what? These are island animals.
I was just gonna say that.
Animals, there was 1 or 2 animals that landed on the island. Even Puerto Rico, where there's a 500 Cuban iguana in one of these islands. They thought it was 1 or 2 animals. They seem to do fine. So basically, if I got about 100 of these babies ready to go when they're a little older, we're gonna repopulate an island off Puerto Rico.
That is so incredible.
Amazing. Yeah.
So they've already cleaned up that island, I heard. So they're ready. So this is the real conservation stuff for me, and I'm really proud to be part of it. I mean, for non-traditional zoo, like that to do something like this, I think it's making a difference. I really do, and I want to be that break between the real zoo, AZA zoo, and private, even commercial.
I was just gonna say that, like, this is as much discourse as there is between the zoo world and the private sector. This is a perfect example of what can happen when the two actually do meet and utilize that intelligence from the person that's dedicated so much time onto that genus, that family, whatever they're trying to save, versus the guy or 2 or 3 people that have to go maintain 150 animals and they can't dedicate their time to one enclosure because they've got 150 other enclosures. You got somebody that is dedicated so much of their life to this species. Like, of course they're going to run circles around you. Why would you not want to be able to work with that person and put things in position to where you have the opportunity to totally repopulate and save a species that is incredibly endangered? I mean, like, this is the magic that can happen when you bridge that gap. So I think that this is amazing and hopefully sets a serious precedent for potentially more collaboration between yourself and other zoos, but even others in the private sector that are working with some really rare species of reptiles.
Yeah, you know what? I'm very grateful that a lot of the AZA zoos recognize us. We got animals from Dallas Zoo. We just recently received 36 turtles from National Zoo.
Really?
National Zoo.
Dang.
In DC.
Wow.
And keeper and they told me, and this really warms my heart. They said it was unanimous among the keeper and the curator to send it to us.
Wow.
They could have
That's amazing.
They picked us.
That is incredible, man.
Yeah. So
congrats
I'm really
on that.
grateful. I mean, so they're I think we got animals from 788 zoos now. Philadelphia Zoo,
Wow.
which is the oldest zoo in the USA, they sent us one of their educational Cuban iguana to us, and it's one of
That's
our
cool.
educational animal now.
That's
That's
awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
so I'm really grateful. I think we're making a little difference. A lot of Jews, even 10 years ago, any commercial breeders like myself, they really, we were blackballed basically,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And that lead to um, something that it's been on my mind for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and that's been um, how can we get us commercial reptile people? I don't know if that's the right word or not. Um, Reptile industry to
Mhm.
do more conservation work,
Yeah.
because right now
Yeah.
we're really not doing it. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
every penny that we raise at these big shows goes to U.S. art, which is great. I support U.S. art. Absolutely, we need to fight legislation. I'm the believe me, I believe in that, right? Because
Yeah,
I
right,
fought
right.
them. And yeah, I spent almost $250,000 fighting them.
Right.
At FWC. But I totally believe in that and support USR.
Mhm.
But I think as a group, we're not doing any conservation work. I mean,
Yeah.
there are things like conservation through commercialization. That's a
Yep.
great slogan, but it's almost a byproduct. Are we gonna, when we produce these ball pythons or whatever, are we gonna put them back in the wild?
Nah.
I don't see anybody doing that, right? Okay. The other flip side is if we produce enough of these animals, we don't have to take them out of the wild. In a way,
Mhm.
that's a conservation, right? I
Mhm.
buy it,
Mm-hmm.
right? But there's millions and millions of dollars of research money going into things like pandas, um, you
Mm-hmm.
know, um, elephants, rhinoceros. But how much of that is going into reptile conservation work? I mean, organizations like Turtle Conservancy and TSA, they do a great job,
Mm-hmm.
doing conservation work, but they're not commercial entity.
Yeah.
But
Right.
we commercial industry, reptile industry, doesn't do any reptile conservation work. I really don't think so. Money doesn't. They don't come up with some bunch of money to say, "Hey, let's support this research. Let's do this conservation work." Let
Mm.
So I want to do that. I mean, I want to be an example of somebody who's doing that. So maybe some other
Yeah.
people will start doing that too. That's why I have the Iguana Fest and the Turtle Fest. But it's really hard, guys. I mean, for me to spend 2 3 months of my time begging people to donate stuff for auction, or hey, can you be a sponsor? It's
Mhm.
tiring. I mean,
Yeah.
it really is. Um, it takes a lot out of me. A lot of people don't know that. It's very hard for me to ask for money. I never ask for money for myself. I never have. Okay,
Right.
I
Mm-hmm.
never have. As a matter of fact, if somebody come in here and give me a donation, I put them in the kitty.
Mm-hmm.
Right now we're supporting Peace River Wildlife Conservation Center, nonprofit. I put that money right in there. It never comes to me. Anybody donate money, it doesn't come to me.
Mm-hmm.
I never ask for money for anybody, for myself. So even when I ask money for conservation, it's hard.
Yeah.
There are a lot
Yeah.
of resistance. It's amazing to me that we raised 100,000. You know,
Yeah. I
Last
think
time
that
that
people
we
don't.
raised $45,000 for Turtle Fest, I probably contributed about $25,000 worth of it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So it gets harder and harder because there's Croc Fest and there's other fest.
Yep.
So I had this idea where I wanted to run a couple of shows, okay,
Mhm.
like national shows.
Mhm.
That right now, these big shows they do make they do auctions and stuff at the end, and that goes to USR, which is great. But ultimately, the profit itself goes to the show um, promoter,
Promoter.
right? I
Yep.
mean, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Commercial, them making money from business, I totally support that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a commercial entity, but I want to do a couple of shows where all the profit goes to conservation work.
Mm.
That would be really cool. I think that people don't realize how far dollars go in conservation, because I was listening to I think it was a TED Radio Hour podcast, and they were talking about how much it costs to sponsor someone to do field research for basically a full year, the summer, so spring to fall. And it was something like $5,000 or $7,000 to sponsor someone to do research for almost a full year of research, and how much
Yeah.
information they can gather in that amount of time. And people are like, that's the cost of a used car. And people don't realize that, when you raise $50,000, that can help put so much energy into research on some of these species that are in danger, and into the habitat of where they come from, and
Right.
and figuring out ways that we can be more effective in conserving these species.
Yeah, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and he brought out the point where conservation on reptiles are very effective. The money that we spend on reptile conservation bring results. Look at
Mm-hmm.
the conservation work at the Grand Cayman iguana.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They saved that species, right? Literally
Mm-hmm.
from like 25 animals to 1,000 animals now.
Yeah.
Look at Jamaican iguana.
Mm-hmm.
They thought they
Yep.
were extinct in the 60s. Now they got thousands. So more than any different type of conservation work, reptile conservation work actually show results. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
the money was well spent. All right. So give you an example. These researchers. Okay, so Bakery, which is I'm forgetting the name of the island. Anyway, these researchers had to go from their field house where doing the research to where the animals were, miles of swampland they have to go through,
Mhm.
and they were
Mm-hmm.
walking it. It would take them 2-3 hours of walking to get to that where the animals were. So we were cutting into a lot of their,
The
research
research
time,
time,
right?
yeah.
So they came to me for, hey, can you donate an ATV or ATM, ATV? Yeah, you said ATV? Yeah,
ATV, yep.
Yeah.
yeah. So I bought them one,
That's
and
awesome.
and and that made a huge difference. They don't have to walk
Yeah.
2-3
Mm-hmm.
hours, right? They could do it in 15 minutes, right?
That's so
So
cool.
yeah, things like that is very important, right?
Mm-hmm.
And nobody really seemed to. It seemed to me like sometimes I'm the only one screaming about it. Um,
Mm.
so
Yeah.
and and I'm getting older, and I want to spend more time with my kids and the grandkids.
The grandkids.
And don't get me wrong, I love doing what I'm doing.
Right.
But eventually, I want to get to a point where I want to spend half the time here and half the time in LA, where my home is, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so that's one of the things that in the future maybe um, and I don't want to step on anybody's toes, anything like that. But if I could raise, I mean, these big shows they raise $250,000. Every time they
Yep.
do a show,
Mhm.
that could go to 100% could go to conservation work. I won't take a penny. Uh, and I think
I
it
think that
made a
there would be
big
a huge draw
difference.
for that too.
Hmm?
I think there would be a
Yeah.
huge draw for that too, because people now do want to see that their money's going somewhere. Like they want to know that their money's getting put to good use, as opposed to just going to one person who's just getting really rich off of it. Knowing that their dollars to go to this show would be going to help save the animals that they care about. I think that would put people in a good position where they'd feel good. They'd feel better about spending money at a show like that.
Yeah, I mean, we'll still do the actions on Saturday night for the U.S. Ark. We'll support them. We'll never not do that. But the profit will go to conservation work.
That's awesome.
So, but having said that, that's a lot of work for me.
Yeah.
But maybe next couple years that's gonna probably happen. And I really want people to, I don't know. I mean, think about conservation work.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, and the funny thing is, I've learned over the years that giving makes me feel good. So literally, I feel like I'm almost selfish doing all these things. Give me pleasure.
So what Ty is saying is he wants to give you all of the work to put an event together.
No, really. I mean, once you realize doing good make you feel good, you want to keep doing it. For selfish reasons. For selfish reasons.
Yeah.
I think that's so true, because doing the educational programs was like that for me, where like I like to get to share with reptiles with people, but it makes me feel really good when I get to see someone who's excited about snakes or something. When I get to see someone hold a snake that they've always been dreaming about, or get to look at something up close, or they learn something new that they didn't know about before. That makes me feel so good, like so good.
Absolutely.
And so you want to keep doing that. You want to keep going out and doing educational programs. You want to get out and you want to change people's minds when it comes to snakes. You want to get people to learn more. You want to get people to change the minds of the other people in their life, not just the people who are there with you. And it is addicting. I'll say that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the joy in life. Being able to give and then getting joy out of it.
Yeah.
And you can't get any better than that. Right?
It's true.
100%.
It's true.
Yeah, I'm really doing it for selfish reasoning. It makes me feel good.
You see Ty, just little horns coming out.
Right.
He's like, I made a giant, amazing reptile zoo so that I could share this stuff with you. And so when you get excited, I get excited.
Yep, that's right.
Oh, man.
So anyway,
that's how I feel sometimes, because sometimes you get burned out by your stuff.
What's going on with you guys?
Oh man, we're like pitiful compared to you, Ty. Like, come on. Oh man, I mean, I'm sitting here breeding leopard geckos and ball pythons right now. That's what's going on in my reptile life. There's not much happening here. Although Amazon tree boas have been a new thing for me. They're certainly not a species that needs conservation efforts, but they've been really fun.
True. That's not true. Where they come from, they're getting deforested for the meat industry, so they do need conservation.
No.
That's fair. But yeah, that's become a new addiction of mine, and I've enjoyed delving into a species that has quite a few more quirks than a lot of the common pet species of snakes. So kind of being forced to dig back into the child within, to really just enjoy and pay attention to these animals. So that's been a big thing for me.
That sounds pretty cool to me.
And
we all have what the heck is that?
This is Rob shit out an egg, and
yeah. We got a little Borneo short-tailed python hatching right here. This is the last one in the egg from my clutch. And
I gotta show you something.
Time to get out.
Here's the Burmese star tortoise.
Hey.
Oh
Hey,
my
look at
God.
that.
Hey, there you go.
Oh,
That's
look
so
at that.
cute,
That's so
man.
cute.
Ah,
How cute is that, huh?
That's cool.
Yeah, I love it. I
heck
love
yeah,
it.
That's
man.
I've
so
been working with
awesome.
these guys for probably 6, 7 years. Finally getting them to. The first clutch was bad. This
Yep.
is the second clutch.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of expected the first clutch to be bad anyway. The males are still pretty small. The female is big, but the males are just big enough now. So,
Mm-hmm.
Heck
and
yeah.
I have something else.
What do you got? What do you got?
A little egg.
Hey.
This is the bladder stone we just took out of your not your Chagwala.
Oh,
Look
out
how
of a
big that is.
chuckwalla?
Oh, dang.
Bladder stone.
Holy
What the
crap.
heck?
Whoa!
That is
Yeah. Here we
huge.
go. It came
Yeah,
out
I
of
thought it was an
Chagwala.
egg.
I thought that
Yeah.
was an
Well,
egg.
it's bigger than Galapagos egg. That's for sure. It's
Yep.
this big. Anyway, one other thing, this leads to something that I've always been telling people about. I'm old, but I'm still learning a lot, right?
Yep.
Heck yeah.
And so I post this thing on Facebook, and one of the comments said, "That's pretty common on Chagwalas." I didn't know that, right? I'm not really a Chagwala, you
Guy.
know,
Yeah.
expert,
Specialist.
and
Yeah.
I'm not expert in a lot of things, but I learned that. So now I'm gonna be looking for that on all my Chagawalas. So I'm gonna take them
Yeah.
all to the hospital and take X-ray. How I found this was she was getting big. And so you know what? And I'm thinking maybe we should have her X-rayed because she might be gravid, right?
Mm-hmm.
She
Which would
wasn't
be
really
cool.
laying.
Yeah.
And she was perfect. She was eating and drinking, really doing well. And so we took her to the and got an X-ray, and sure enough, boom, a huge bladder star in the middle. So
Wow.
we surgically had it removed. So basically, what I'm saying is, you know, literally, I do have a lot of experience. I really do. I mean, I've been keeping reptiles for now since 6 years old. I've always had reptiles. Even when I was living in a college dorm, I had reptiles. That was I was a rebel. That's breaking the rule, obviously. But
Mhm.
back when I was going to college, I mean, everybody was on weed. I would
Yeah.
walk through that dormitory room on Friday, and I get high on weed just walking the hallway. Right?
Oh no.
We're talking about early 70s. Yeah. So I had my hair long. I was a hippie. Um, yeah. So um, yeah, it was. What am I trying to say anyway? I lost my
You're
thought.
always learning.
Oh, yeah.
What was
Always
that?
learning.
You're always learning something. Yeah.
Always learning something, and I have a lot of experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
But having said that, really, I learn new things almost weekly. I really do,
Mm-hmm.
and I try to incorporate it into my, you know, keeping. I think that even 20, 30 years ago, most of the animals were wild caught animals, as you could see, right?
Mhm.
Most of the stuff that
Yep.
people were keeping were wild caught. Now, probably majority of them are kept bred now. It's a
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
huge, huge advance, right? 20 years ago, I don't think there was an enclosure made specifically for reptiles, right?
Yep.
You always use wet aquariums. We
Yeah.
went to Ace Hardware to get heat lamps, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, we never had UV light, right? I mean, we had
Yep.
Vitalight, which didn't give any UV. But
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
without even UV, I was in that little basement under my restaurant. I bred my first green iguana without UV light, and it
Oh,
in
Really?
a
wow.
basement. And that was
Wow.
for
Dang.
me, that was a huge accomplishment for me to somebody to breed a green iguana in the basement in Illinois. I mean, you could do it outside in Florida, no problem. They do it naturally.
Right.
Yeah, and I remember when I was breeding bearded dragons, there was no UV light. It was vital light, and I knew they needed UV light. So what I did was I got this light from medical light that had UV in it. Okay, I would buy this very, very expensive UV light from medicine supply company, and I would put a timer on it, and I will move from cage to cage over the bearded dragon for 15 minutes every day.
Wow.
Oh man.
This is way before the UV lights and everything.
That's
I've done a
cool.
lot of things. Having said that, I'm still learning every day. Every day.
Heck yeah.
I think that is one of the most important things that people can pick up, is that you should never ever feel like you know exactly what's going on. You should always feel open to learning something new, because there are so many different little things. There's no way for one person to know all of the things that are going on, even with just the reptiles that we're keeping. If you have more than one species, even if you have just one species, there are all of these little things that we may never know. Like Jeremy Luther from Nerd, he used to be one of our monitor guys. He called me earlier today. I missed his call, but I listened to his voicemail. He's an arborist, so he works in like pruning trees and cutting down trees and stuff. He called me today because he was between 40 and 50 feet up in a tree and pruning branches, and he found an entire family of broad-headed skinks up there.
Really?
He's never seen broad-headed skinks on the ground where he's at. He's in Missouri. He's never seen broad-headed skinks out and about, but when he's 40 feet up in a lift pruning these branches of this tree, he finds a whole family of broad-headed skinks.
That's super interesting.
Yeah.
Right? And like, who would have thought? I see broad-headed skinks around on rock walls and like on trees when I'm out herping by rivers and stuff. But who would have thought that they're spending a decent amount of their time 40 foot up in a tree? The skink is this it's this big. So like, what is it? What is it really doing up there? And think about it. Maybe it makes sense. There's less predators. It only really has to worry about birds up there. It doesn't really have to worry about other kinds of predators that would have to worry about lower, closer to the ground. It really has the advantage of being able to thermoregulate easier. There's probably lots of bugs up there and little things like that where I would have never figured that crap out. This, I just learned that for the first time today too. So like, I'm always excited to learn something new about reptiles like that.
Yeah.
So what you guys have just heard.
Expert. I always tell myself I'm an experienced person. I have a lot of experience in reptiles, but I don't want to call myself an expert. I produce, oh my God, 71 species of lizards. 27 species of turtles and tortoises.
Wow.
So I have a lot of experience. But I'm no expert, especially when it comes to medicine. Don't even ask me. I always tell them, "Hey, go ask a vet," because I don't want to give you bad advice. And when my animal gets sick, I go to my vet. I don't do it myself, right? Because I'm not a professional, and I could tell you, I can confess right now. Because I've been doing it for 60 plus years, I probably killed almost every species of reptiles in the world. That's common to the
reptile trade,
Because I kept them all, right? I kept almost every, because I had pet store too. I literally kept almost every species of reptile that was available, commonly, especially. So I've actually killed almost every species of reptiles that's common to reptile industry. So I could confess that, but that's experience, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Chameleons, they rarely live more than 10 years. I killed every species of chameleon that I've ever worked with.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the truth, right?
Yeah.
It's the trial and error and experimentation and development. Like I think that's something that in modern day reptile keeping we take for granted. Like we have UV lights, we have specialty enclosures, we have all of these things that exist now that we can literally either just go to the local pet shop and buy, or we can go online and get it, within a couple days or a week. But previously, that didn't exist at all. UV lights have
Trial
only
and
been around
error.
for
Yeah.
35, 40 years, like, so
that,
there's a
yeah.
whole period of time that didn't exist. I mean, I think it was when we had Brian Barczyk on the show, and he was talking about taking the water heater element in for rack systems to be able to put that to a thermostat for a rack system. Like, that's stuff that we take for granted now. Those racks come in with heat tape pre-installed.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And you know what? Also, a lot of people said bad things about what's going on right now with reptile. The next generations are horrible and stuff like that. I don't believe that. I really truly believe in the next generation of keeper doing really well. And people like you guys, I really believe that this reptile business would keep improving and get better. I really truly believe that, and I really believe in the next generation to take this to another level. I really do.
Yeah, I think that one of the things that feels threatening to older people, like not you in particular, but like some of the older crowd, is that they go, I had to suffer so much and I made every mistake in the book trying to get to where I'm at. And the younger people are like, I don't want to make every mistake in the book. I don't want to, have to watch, animals die. I want to look at research. I want to learn from the people who did things before me, and I want to do better. I want to give these animals as much as they can. And I think that a lot of older people see that as like, an insult or whatever. And it's in a lot of ways, it's not their fault. Like when we didn't have care guides, care guides are developed from people making mistakes over and over and over and learning from those mistakes and going, okay, I have to supplement with calcium. Otherwise the females go into calcium crash. We need to make sure that they get UV light, or they aren't able to process the various, vitamins and minerals in their diet. All of these things that like when you go and look online at a care sheet, that is the result of lots and lots of people making mistakes and learning from those mistakes. And I think that a lot of people today take that for granted because the information's there. Whereas for people like us and for like Ty, it was not there. We were figuring things out as it was happening. And, Jeremy and I, there was some information out there, but there's still so many advances that have come in the last 5 years that we're still learning so much. Years.
Yep. Yep. And you know what? This, I can tell you right now, me being working with reptile, to me, people talk about symbiosis, right? Right? Anemone and anemone fish, right? That's a symbiosis, right? Two different species benefiting from each other. For me, reptile keeping is symbiosis.
Yes.
Because number one, I do my darndest to make sure all my reptiles are taken care of and happy. And they get benefit from it. Look at all the animals in the wild. They got ticks, they got mice.
Yeah, they're all skinny and snarly. Yeah.
Yeah, and the things are trying to eat you. Look at the sea turtles, right? I mean, if 1 out of 1,000 become adult, that's pretty good odds.
Yeah.
Okay, 999 turtles have just died.
Yeah.
Okay, because they produce literally thousands and thousands of babies through their lives. If you do the math, 1 out of 1,000 is probably a small number. Then maybe it's 1 out of 10,000 that goes to produce, right? What
Yeah.
happened
Yeah.
to the rest? They don't live a happy life. They're in the stomach of a shark or something,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They don't, the people have seen too many movies like Born Free and stuff, They think the wild is great. But in reality, we really are providing them with healthcare, food, and closure. I mean, I admit that, instead of living in 1 mile square feet, they might be living in, 25, 20 feet. But if they're born in captivity, that's all they know.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Yeah, and I really believe this, my relationship with reptile, I call it symbiosis. I give them benefit and I receive benefit from them because I love working with it. It makes me happy. It makes me want to get up every day, right? I don't want to go play golf. Or I love playing soccer, but I don't want to get up and go play golf. I want to work with a reptile.
Yeah.
And so nobody has ever probably said that reptile keeping is more like a symbiosis. I might be the first one saying it, but to me, it's a symbiotic relationship.
It's something that
I
comes
agree.
with experience, Ty.
Yeah. I agree, man. Honestly, every day when I get up, I think that the reptiles are pretty much the highlight of my day most days.
Yeah.
You get up, you go check on where the creatures are at and getting to see their habits, what they're doing that day, getting to interact with them a little bit
Mm-hmm.
is one of those things that keeps me getting up every day and making sure that I'm doing what I got to do to keep the lights on and to keep going because I want to keep doing this,
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I did say 100 people. If 100 people come visit, see the show, I'm gonna give away a Burmese star tortoise.
Mm.
But we don't need to reach 100. We need to pick someone to give this Burmese star tortoises away. It doesn't have to be 100. I just said that so we could have more people. But
Yeah.
I want to give away Burmese star tortoise anyway. But I don't know how to do that. You guys need to figure out how to do that.
Oh man.
Okay.
All right. Well, there's
you guys come up with something. I don't know.
Okay. Well, there's 41, 42 people in here right now.
Okay. I knew it wasn't gonna be 100, but
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that if you count all the people who have cycled through here from the beginning, I bet you that we've had over 100.
We probably have had over 100.
Was that boring that they all dropped out?
No, some people are
sometimes
busy
people got to
working
go
and
eat
doing
dinner.
stuff.
Yeah, sometimes
Yeah,
people got to go
whatever.
step away and eat dinner. And look, I'll tell you right now.
I don't want to give away the Burmese star, and you guys have to pick that person.
Okay, well, I'll tell you right now who's not going to get it is freaking Matt from Sassabeck Reptiles because he only wants it to save on shipping. So
I would roll him out for sure.
All right, Rob, how do you want to do this?
Did you guys want to pick the person right now or do you want to?
No, it doesn't have to be now. Just do it like next couple of days. I don't care.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll go through the live chat and I will tally names that are on the live chat. I think I can still do that on YouTube, right?
Yep, you can still do that.
And I might be able to do it through if I stick on here afterwards and just read through some of the people on Facebook too. Because this shows me YouTube and Facebook comments as well.
Okay.
And so I can go through there, make a list, and then just put it into one of those auto spinners that
wheel things.
pick someone. Yep.
Perfect.
And okay, yeah,
that sounds
we'll
good.
do that.
Perfect. I'm here for that. So and we'll make an announcement. We'll do a whole big thing with Ty, and we'll make an announcement about.
Don't involve me.
Yeah.
You guys do
Okay, I'll get a picture of Ty
We'll
from his
just send
Facebook
address
that we can post up.
Yeah, you guys do it. Yeah.
Perfect.
That's
I do want to.
Yeah, I don't know how long this podcast is gonna last, but do you guys have any questions or?
Yeah, so I had opened up to our chats if they wanted to throw in a question or two for you.
What's his favorite turtle?
Nothing from Matt. No, nothing from Matt. Not at all. I don't even like it when Matt asks me questions. So we no. So let me just scroll back here. Because we had a bunch of people that had some questions. All right, here we go. Here's one from Facebook. Samson Michael, what is your biggest conservation for Iguana Land? Conservation goal for Iguana Land in the next 10 years?
10 years? Dang. Can we
Well,
go
the
10
iguanas
months?
take a while, dude.
Well, I talked about Anegada project, right? That's huge. I mean,
Yeah.
for us to replenish an island they're extinct from, they actually was there 5,000 years ago. I think that's really huge. I don't think it'll get any bigger than that when it comes to conservation.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
that'll be my goal. Within the next 10 years, we repopulate this island and Puerto Rico with Anegada iguanas.
That would be awesome for sure.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next one. What's the most rewarding species that you've ever worked with?
Oh my God.
You can't say the same species again.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
you
know.
can.
I know. You know what? Tell you the truth, I went through every different type of species that I got. I told myself I couldn't live without that species kind of thing, At one time, I worked with different chameleons, and that was just my passion. I just concentrated on the overall chameleon, and every species I could get, I tried to produce them and stuff. So it's really different from time to time, right? Obviously, rock iguana is huge. I want to have every species of rock iguana here at Iguana Land, at least the ones that are legally here. So I'm looking to acquire Jamaican iguana. I'm very patient. It doesn't have to happen next year or anything like that, but I think that's going to happen. And I would love to get pure Lewisite from one of the zoos. If I do that, I would have probably every species that's in the U.S. here at Iguana Land.
That's cool.
I love working with dolphins, spiny-tailed iguanas. I'm passionate about all different types of turtles and tortoises. Corora is a huge for me. So there really isn't just, one species that I'm really concentrating on right now. I would love to get some Fiji iguanas. I'm working on that. So, yeah, those are some of my wish list. Hopefully within the next 10 years, I would have all those species, including Komodo dragon.
Yes.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. All right, let's see.
Last thing to do yet.
Heck yeah.
That's the beginning.
Heck yeah. All right, let's see. I'll do a couple more and then we'll head out. What's been the most difficult turtle species that you've worked with?
Turtle.
You know what? Canixies has been real challenge for me. I know there are a lot of people or a few people breeding them now, but mostly I've been working with the import, and they just didn't do well. No matter what I did, they just slowly die on me. So that's been a real challenge. I've been really any captive bred species that I work with really hasn't really been a challenge for me. There's huge difference between captive bred animals and wild caught animals when it comes to turtles and tortoises. Wild caught animals just don't do well, especially koalas and those delicate species that come from Asia. They might be in a bin for months before they get here. They are loaded with parasite and stuff, and that probably goes same with the canixies. So that's been a challenge for me. But really, I'm really happy with how well the animals are doing at my zoo. That
Heck yeah.
It's not me that's doing the daily work. It's my keeper, right? Obviously, I'm out there advising them. But day-to-day stuff, I rely on my keepers, and thank God I have some good ones.
Mm-hmm.
And
Heck yeah.
so I'm really happy with what's going on over here. Animals are thriving. Obviously, it comes with designing the enclosure as well.
Mhm.
And I always tell my employees that I would give you any equipment that will make your job better.
Mm-hmm.
All my employees hear that from me. Anything you need to make your job easier and better to take care of these animals, I'll get that for you. But do not waste my money.
Yeah.
Right? Because if they're not spending their money, they will waste it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? We feed the best stuff that I think that they should eat.
Mhm.
I'm really I'm really amazed at how well animals are doing, especially the captive bred one. If you get little agamas that came from Africa, you expect to lose some, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really happy with what's going on at the zoo, how well we're doing with the animals, and I have to thank my keepers for that.
Mm-hmm.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Hell
I
yeah.
love that. All right, we'll do one more of these questions and then we'll wrap it up. Let's see.
Sounds good.
Scroll through.
Make sure it's not from Matt.
No, never.
Oh, it's Jay. Hey, Jay.
Have you ever thought about trying to breed pig-nosed turtles or fly river turtles because of the complex nature of the egg hatching?
I think about it all the time, but I'm not ready. I don't have a pond
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
I have a pair here. They're in an individual 10 by 10 aquatic enclosure setup. I'm not set up to breed them yet. One day,
That's awesome.
I will decide. Hey, it's time, and I do it. Right now, they're kept, nicely, but they have not really been. I haven't put them together because
Mm-hmm.
they need a huge pond by themselves with the banks, with the
Right.
sandy
Yep.
banks and stuff. Um, I'm not ready for that yet, but in the future.
Dude.
That'll
That's
be
so
crazy.
awesome. I love fly river turtles. They're so cool.
Heck yeah.
Yep, they sure are.
Heck yeah. Well,
man.
Ty, this has been freaking amazing. It's such a treat to have
Yes.
you on and
Thank
get
you
to
so
spend
much.
time with you because we certainly don't get to see you nearly enough. But so our final wrap-up question that comes from us that we ask everybody is what, and I feel like I already know what it might be, but maybe I don't. What in the realm of reptiles, be it something that you have happening at your own collection or something maybe you've seen online, what in the realm of reptiles has you excited about reptiles right now?
Right now, there's a lot of things, really. I mean, Bolins. People
Yeah.
tend to breed Bolins.
Yeah.
Yep.
Really exciting
I
for
wasn't
me.
expecting you to say Bolins.
I
So
was not
heck yeah.
expecting that. Was not expecting that. Yeah.
A lot of tree monitors being hatched recently.
Yes.
Huge. A lot of different species being kept to bred that we weren't doing 5-10 years ago, right? I
Mhm.
see that all the time. Different monitor species, especially the tree monitor, is huge for me. They're cute little burgers when they hatch out, right?
Yes.
So yeah, I'm really excited about the future. A lot of things are happening now. Yeah, Boland's one of them, obviously. I would love to get Fiji iguanas here.
Yes.
I want to work with
Yes.
them. I want to have every. Let's say I'm gonna build within the next 5 years enough enclosure to house most of the monitor species that's out there, like Spencer and
Heck
sand,
yeah.
like the sand monitors. Some of the
Mm.
very rare stuff. I want to work with them. So I got big goals, man.
Heck yeah.
You say that like you haven't just made one of like the most incredible reptile zoos in the world.
Well, I'm gonna be working on indoor enclosure soon, an indoor room, because the way I gotta set up everything is outdoor basically. I want to have temperature control room where I could do smaller stuff, like some of the anole species, some of the gecko species that I've been avoiding keeping them because outdoors they just don't do well.
Yeah.
So I want to work with some of the South African tortoises. So I got a lot of things that I still have to accomplish.
Hell yeah.
Heck yeah, man.
Dude, that's awesome. I'm really excited to see what the next iteration is. And Jeremy and I have been talking about doing another Florida trip where we head down south, check you out, then work our way up to like Gatorland, and then hit the panhandle out towards Steve
Cool.
Tillis. So we gotta talk some more, Jeremy, about getting that done. Yeah, we gotta make that happen.
Yeah.
I'm always here for you guys. You know that.
We appreciate
Hell
that,
yeah.
Ty. Thank you so much, man.
So much appreciation. Yeah, this is incredible. I really have enjoyed listening to you tonight. I could listen to you talk for just like hours, for real.
It's true. It's
All
true.
right, when you guys get here, I'll take you out to dinner, okay?
Hey,
Can we go back to that barbecue spot? That was really good.
that barbecue place was incredible. I'm
Wherever you
serious.
want.
Oh
I
man.
saw Scott was in the chat too. Big shout to Scott. He's one of the keepers out there doing good things. And then I've enjoyed watching the pictures from Anna doing presentations too. She took really good care of us while we were down there. So if you're listening to this podcast right now, make sure that you check out Iguana Land. If you are anywhere in the southern part of Florida, please go check them out. You will not regret it, especially if you are a reptile person. The amount of species if you were like, I've been to a reptile zoo before, parentes, like, come on, you cannot, like, come on.
Yeah.
And the croc monitor exhibits and everything, trust me, you will not regret it. It's amazing. I can't wait to go back. So you should definitely check it out. Ty, if people want to see the things that you're doing, where should they follow you to see pictures and videos and stuff?
Actually, within a month, we're gonna have a YouTube channel. I hired a person. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I think she's anal as hell, so it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, dude.
Yeah. So but it's www.iguanaland.com. And if you want to send me an email, it's ty@iguanaland.com.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's
All
it,
right.
dude.
Thank you
Well,
so
Ty,
much.
thank
I
you so
appreciate
much
your time.
again, man.
Yeah.
You're welcome, guys.
Thank you.
It's nice seeing you guys again.
Heck
It's
yeah,
good
man.
seeing
You
you too,
too.
All right. Bye.
All right.
Take care, man.
Ty. Bam. Ty Park,
Dude.
everybody. That was freaking epic. Thank you to everybody in the chat. We appreciate it. You guys are awesome. So we will go back and get names and everything and do one of those wonderful wheel spin things for the tortoise winner. And
we'll reach out to you, make sure that you can take care of this tortoise. We want to make sure that it goes to a good home, someone who is able to provide for it, not just when it's a baby, but also when it gets larger. So we'll have some questions that we'll ask you to make sure that it's going to a good home, someone that is prepared to take care of it. But we will get that over the next couple of days. And thank you for tuning in. If you guys want to check out Jeremy and the things that he's doing, where are you going to go?
You can go check out everywhere on social media at Brassman Reptiles, except TikTok. That's at the Brassman, and also brassmanreptiles.com. If you're interested in purchasing anything like that, I have all of my availability over there. If you want to find out more about what's happening with Rob, you just don't go on Facebook.
Yeah, I'm still I have 1,000 friend requests in limbo right now. And I just don't. Unless I see someone and I'm like, I think I know them, and I go scroll on their page for a bit. But recently, it's been a bunch of those spam pages where it's like attractive singles, and I see that I've got like 30 mutuals with it. I'm like, come on, guys, come on. You don't even look at the page. You just like
auto confirm
and confirm. Yeah, no, I don't do that. So Yeah, don't check me out on Facebook, but check me out on Instagram at Rob is Creeping It Real. I just had some Borneos hatched, so I'll have pictures of
Yes.
those babies up there soon. I got an even crazier clutch that's going to be hatching in about a month. I post all of my herping adventures on my story and memes and all that jazz. So check me out on Instagram, Rob is Creeping It Real, on TikTok at Rob is Creeping It Real. And just make sure if you enjoyed this episode, we would appreciate if you left a review. Go on to Apple Podcasts or on Spotify, leave us a thumbs up, give us a review, let us know what you thought. We are always working on improving our deal and making sure that you guys, we're bringing you the best podcast that we can. And I am super jazzed about tonight's episode. I'm so excited. This was awesome. And I cannot wait to go back to Iguana Land and to hang out with Ty, do some more herping.
Yes, on-site herping at Iguana Land is fun. All right,
the water
guys.
snakes don't bite.
It's true fact. So crazy.
So weird.
So weird. Ty's niceness has bled into the local
something
fauna.
in the water. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh man. All right, guys. We will catch you on the next one. Stay tuned because I think we might actually be talking with our buddy Matt from Sassabeck. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, see you later.